So right now, obviously, we're seeing the economy's changing a lot. Some industries, some trends, there's a lot, not only predictions, but we're seeing that we're entering a down market. When that happens, businesses look at, reevaluating some of their priorities, some of their commitments. That includes things like marketing spend. They may also need to adjust what their sales goals are. So when we talk about this whole world of, measurement, goals, looking at the value of things, what are some things that people need to consider and how should businesses look at this?
Well, the first thing we all have to remember is that businesses don't buy things, they invest in things. So nothing is done for the sake of having that thing. They're looking at it as a way to grow or otherwise make their business more efficient, which increases profitability.
Right.
So whether you're hiring a graphic designer, whether you're hiring a marketing strategist or an agency, you want to be thinking in terms of, okay, let's get really clear on what are we trying to accomplish? And that's not only going to make you a better buyer of services, it's going to make the service provider a better provider of those services. So when I look to create a proposal with clients, what I want to get crystal clear on is what does success look like? So what are my clients trying to accomplish? And paint a vivid picture about what the business outcomes are. So it's not like I want a new website, I want a new thing. That might be the initial thought process. Right. The question is, well, why? And so that uncovers the business objectives, things like faster time to market, increased profitability, decreased costs, reduce our fixed overheads and create more variable spending. So whatever the business objectives are, we can then get into how we're going to measure those things.
Right.
And so what I look for is the big three are, what are the business objectives? How are we going to measure those things? And then what are the value of achieving or making progress towards those goals?
And the important thing there is that not all of those goals are weighted equally. Not all the measurements and inputs are weighted equally, right?
Very true.
When you're looking at the 20 things you can measure in a KPI tracker, page views is not as important as email signups, for example, right? Now, you want to see the correlation between those, of course, but I think that's an important thing for strategists and marketers to look at for our clients, right? Is which metrics should you actually be weighting higher? What's more valuable to your business, right?
True. And it's up to you if you're selling it and also the buyer to just keep this in mind, is that the vanity metrics, if you will, the things like page views and clicks and likes don't actually move the needle unless you're looking for some optics that make you appear to be more established. Right. But even then, the question is, well, why does this number of clicks, likes, engagements matter? And frankly, that's where we have to get clear on what business objective is that mapping to, and then be agnostic about how you achieve those business objectives and not get too clued in on having 1 million followers on Instagram if your business objective doesn't directly map to that. And so that's where the scope begins to come into play only after you've gotten clear on what are the business objectives, how are we going to actually measure the progress toward that, and then what would the value be if we achieved that or semblance of it, even a conservative estimate. And then you can begin to formulate a price and a scope and how to work together.